scaredy cat. Awesome. All right. Well, happy Halloween, everyone.
Happy Halloween.
It's spooky.
So spooky.
Excellent. I can do a quick recap. After the the party decided to get or head out to Fred's relic, they eventually found their way into a desolate town of a lake-drained environment, which had fallen under the now corrupted rule of a mummy lord. After some tense encounters, the mummy lord lay dead on the ground, having his heart smote out of him. The party eventually made their way to the forest area, which they tripped and fell a couple of times, but made their way through pretty unscathed, having only encountered a couple of hags and some deadly assassins. Eventually coming to a forest temple, which, after some thinking, having both Barrick, Valoran, and Calliope standing on certain spots, open up a teleportation system to Korak of the Clouds. Korak of the Clouds. Krakus of the Clouds. To which Frederick realized, after some self-discovery and some pretty intense lightning bolts, that he was actually a descendant of a god, and his trying to remember exactly how old he is. The party then decided to take a long rest on top of the mountainous area that now had not only no Talos, the man god being that identified himself, but overstood Pazubia, to which the party could actually see. The impending darkness of Pazubia, a shadow that seems to be creeping over the majority, coming from Caesar itself. After some debate, they decide to take a long rest, and in the morning, Tozu will teleport them through a tree, only to realize in the morning that Tozu is not always the brightest bulb in the bunch, and woke up going, well, I'm looking for a tree, but I don't see any. So the party, led by Valoran, teleported to Ashvelen, where they met the queen, had a lovely breakfast, and then eventually walked through a tree to a farm, to which some of the party were, rather quiet. Others were a little louder. When out of the field came a pumpkin that splattered beside them. A couple more were loosed, and from out of the ground came a bubbling crude, a large pumpkin-like being that took a little bit of time, but eventually the party slayed and killed. Being pretty roughed up, Tozu had mentioned that there was once a farmhouse on the edge of this property, and the party had found it rather charred and burned out. They were able to kind of put their backs to a wall so they wouldn't be seen by any of the people on the tower gates, and they popped up Valoran's tiny hut, and that is where we find our heroes.
All right. Happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween!
Did we decide if we were long resting or short resting?
You did not.
Hey, gang.
We should long rest.
How long do you want to rest? So if we're gonna long rest, then I could spend some of my spells doing stuff. Like if we wanted to talk to anyone in the city and look for a safe place to go.
I am half dead. Korak is half dead.
How are you on spells, though?
Barrick's half dead. Frederick is half dead.
You just do a short rest and spend spell slots for, a hit dice for healing.
I am I've used like a third of my highest spell slots.
I don't know, gang. What do you think?
I mean, I would be okay without a long rest. A long rest would be preferable, but I could make do without one. I don't know how other people's spells are.
I think I'm okay. I don't think Abe touched my stuff. I'm wounded. I'm like super wounded. So
Yeah,
I only have 30 HP left.
You took a pretty good hit.
I've got my higher level spells and I'm not hurt too bad.
So if I'm healed, I'm good. If I'm not healed,
I mean, we have a bunch of hit dice we can spend, and I have something I can do with Song of Rest.
Sweet.
What level are we?
10.
Anyone who I can play my Song of Rest, and anyone who spends hit dice gets an extra D8 of hit points back.
Well, how about this? Why don't I see if we can see if I can figure out like a direction for us to go inside the city? I'd feel okay with going in the city with like 2/3 spell capability, which is about what I am, 2/3. If we knew at least where we're going, if we had like a semi-safe landing spot, you know what I mean?
That's the burned out building.
Yeah, that's the semi-safe landing spot. Baby.
Speaking of which, everyone make a perception check.
I want something else.
Ooh, yeah, there it is.
Not listen when you say.
Poor Fred.
seriously.
Fred, you are, for better lack of a term, standing there just kind of playing with your hands, watching the bear's paws turn back and forth. You hear some conversations, but it's just really entertaining to just watch your hands become bear paws over and over again. The rest of the party kind of sees Tozu kind of huddled in the corner. Valorant, you can actually see he's actually he's trying to hide it, but he's pretty emotional at the moment.
Inside check.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't trust this son of a gun.
No, it seems pretty legit.
No one else sees Tozu crying.
You guys can kind of see him in the corner, but it's Valorant that kind of makes out that he's kind of like wiping his eyes and his nose, and he's kind of like.
Cool. I'm going to say, Barrick, do you think maybe I'm about to go send a spell to my old headmasters, but maybe Tozu used to like live around here. Maybe he has some idea of a place we could go that's safe. Why don't you check with him? Okay, bye.
I guess I'll walk over to Tozu.
Yeah, he's kind of like, kind of squatting on the ground, walking up. You can tell he's kind of like wiping his eyes.
Hey there, big guy. How you doing?
Yeah. She had the blackest hair, and she was so short. Walked with a limp.
You want to tell me what's going on, sport?
She's dead. I don't know where she is. This was her house. I don't know where she is.
Who is dead?
The woman. Her name was Pilney. We spent a summer here on her farm.
Pilney.
I don't know she's dead. I mean, I don't know where she'd be. Why is her house burned down?
She may be okay. Come, sit. Tell me about this
I'm already
Pilney.
sitting.
I thought you were squatting.
I don't know what this is.
All right, I'm gonna sit beside him. Tell me about this Pilney.
Oh, well, she, forgot he had an accent. Well, I met her once at a pub, and, well, one thing led to another. You know how things go.
Yes, I know.
And
Continue.
when a man loves a
He
woman,
doesn't know. He's chased.
No,
well,
I totally know. Don't listen to her. I
Well-
Wait,
know.
is that canon?
uh,
Does he know or does he know? That's what we want to know.
I don't know. It's Halloween. It's spooky. Nobody
Well-
knows.
well,
You know, he lost his chance with harm. That's all I'm saying.
I met him at I met her at ye old Bassoon pub, and she was a looker, and I took her on another date to the Slippery Duck. Now that's the place to go. Could talk to Pitch there, but well, I went a little hoity-toity one night with her, and that's where we kind of, she took me back here to her farm, and well, stayed here for a whole summer. She'd rough hands, worked the farm. That's probably why the crops are all dead.
Calliope hands him her flask.
Oh, and he just starts chugging.
Is there somewhere she might have gone?
Well, this is our house. I don't know where she'd go.
Well, somewhere safe if this farm was being attacked.
She, we didn't talk a lot in that summer. We mostly,
Yes.
spent
What
time
did you
with
do?
each other. Well, and he kind of walks over here. This would have been the bed, and he kind of, points out to it.
You should describe it in great detail to Barrick, because otherwise he'll have no idea what you're talking about.
Tozu looks really strange at Barrick.
I know what it is and
Well-
how it's done.
Sometimes we wouldn't even pull back the sheets, really. We would just go at it.
Oh my gosh.
I've read books, guys.
Valor, make a perception check with advantage.
Okay.
And then, well, I'd make her breakfast over here.
Abe, what time did I cast Seeming?
You cast it right after you guys woke up, right? It's only been about 30 minutes, so
Oh shit. Okay.
yeah.
Wait, since we woke up? No, we had like breakfast and everything.
You cast it right after you woke up?
I cast it before we went to before we teleported, because when we showed up we looked like vampires.
Excuse me, I'd say it's been about an hour and a half.
Okay.
It's been about 30 minutes since breakfast, but it takes about an hour to eat that
Yeah.
feast.
Okay. So like 7 o'clock I cast it. Okay.
Yeah, we didn't have breakfast as vampires. I'm pretty sure.
She cast it before we left, and she didn't drop it.
Yeah, but we had breakfast before we left too, right?
No, she cast it before we
Oh shit.
teleported. Because-
To
to-
Twilina?
Yeah, because we showed up looking like vampires.
Yep.
Oh
she commented on it.
right. That's right.
She cast it
Forgot about
before we realized that Tozu couldn't take us.
God damn Tozu.
Well, and
Oh shit.
I'd make her a little thing over here, and this was where the cooler was, It was-
I cast a spell.
What location character? I will reply.
In the middle of that, there is what do you mean? Sorry. As she pipes up and towards Tozu.
Like the. Okay.
No, that was
And
what she said before.
He goes back over to the
No, I meant like
bed.
she was in the middle of casting her spell whenever she said that before.
Oh. And he goes through a rather lengthy discussion about what they would do between breakfast and when she'd have to work on the farm. Merrick, it's pretty explicit.
It's.
He's,
I mean,
he's like
I know.
showing you. He's like
Yeah.
he's like trying to use you as her. It's
Yeah.
pretty.
Like, this is not shocking information to me.
You
but
look pretty
at the same
shocked. No, you
gross.
got to move your hand back. There it is. Yeah, it was like that.
Oh, God. Ugh. All right. Well, then. We can't be sure that she's dead. I mean, have you found any remains in the house?
I mean, we should look. That's a great idea.
Come, yes, I'll help you look.
Calliope starts ransacking the ruins.
I'm gonna search a little more delicately.
You guys see, as Valorant's casting her spell, she glances towards one of the floorboards and gets kind of like a wincy look on her face. But it's finishing her spell at the moment, so she doesn't say anything yet.
Barrick, you would have noticed that. Calliope, you're kind of just tossing up. There's like burned pillars that have fallen over. There's a piece of the wall. There seems to be like charred bowls and cups. Nothing yet of interest. Barrick, you can kind of see where Valorant had kind of like eyed. If you wanted to more investigate that area.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it. Take a look.
It's in a book.
Valorant, when did you last talk to your dude? Was it this morning?
It was like, yeah, right before we left. No, actually, I'm sorry. It would have been before our long rest. So it would have been like 8 or 9 hours ago.
Okay, that's what I thought. I wanted to make sure I wasn't screwing this up.
No, you are correct.
Whisper.
Whispers.
There
Oops,
we go.
oops.
Excuse me. Barrick, looking kind of where Valorant had kind of eyed, you clearly see that part of the building had fallen over onto what looks to be some kind of remains.
Oh, crap.
Tozu's like flipping things over.
All right, I'm going to lift the stuff off of the remains.
Calliope, that's amazing. Yeah, you see the remnants of either a small child or a small humanoid.
Do you ever go back downstairs after you brought your laundry up?
No, it's all off.
My pizza rolls.
I'm going to kind of sigh and say, Tozu?
Yeah.
And I'm going to just kind of gesture to the remains.
Yeah. What did you find? And he just starts like sobbing uncontrollably on the ground. This woman clearly had like a shorter leg on one side than the other. And
all right, draw that, Calliope.
he is uncontrollably weeping, and you just like hear spurts every now and again. Such rough hands.
I'm gonna just pat him on the shoulder.
Calliope pats his other shoulder and hands him the flask again.
Oh, thank you. I'll drink some more. He like pours a little out.
Does the remains look like they burned to death, or?
You can make an investigation.
She's not gonna like get in there and start like manhandling the corpse in front of him. She just is kind of curious to look at it to see.
You push him down, get in his way.
And knock him out of the way, and I just like flip the skull over.
Yeah, from this distance, trying to be as friendly as possible. You can definitely tell that it's burned. It's some kind of burned woman, though. From this distance, it's hard to tell more, other than it looks like she may have been trapped under the collapsed wall. Whether
Okay.
that's what caused the death or not, you'd have to get closer.
How far away is she from the bed?
She is like here, and the bed was like over here.
I didn't actually catch any of that. Sorry.
Oh,
Like 5 feet, 10 feet.
She's probably like 30 feet. Looks like the bed is on one side of the house, and she was on the other.
Fuck. Okay. What else is on that side of the house?
The wall that had fallen down. Yeah, with the wall that fell down, it seems to be the door itself. That whole side kind of collapsed in.
Okay.
If you're
Tozu,
ready,
I'm-
Tozu, we should bury her. I can perform a funeral rite, if you wish.
I would. It's fine. Oh, pill me. And he kind of like scoops up her remains. Most of it kind of crumbles down, and he just, oh no!
No. Oh gosh.
He's just kind of
Um,
trying to scoop up the bones. It's
Is there like a
horrible.
jar?
Like throwing the book of holding, so she gets drawn on each page.
Yep.
Nope.
That's a
Uh,
memorial.
Yeah,
There you go.
he's just like, it's the most horrifying, embarrassing scene as he's trying to scoop up
Okay.
bits of her, and then he
I'm
wails
gonna look
more.
around. I'm gonna look around for a container.
Why? And he just continues to wail.
So Valorant's going to pull out of her book a traveler's cloak that she has in there, and she kind of just like drapes on the floor. Says, "It's not much, but I used it for a really long time.
It's not really my style.
It's for her. We can maybe."
She can't wear it.
Oh boy. Valor just kind of like knuckles to forehead for a second and takes a deep breath. I was thinking we could maybe wrap her in it, and
That's better than wearing it. And he just kind of starts pushing her remains onto the top of it.
I'm gonna
Tozu,
help him.
here, come sit here and tell me more about her so I can craft her funeral song, and Barrick will take care of the remains. And she kind of like sits him on the bed and asks him questions about her.
I'm gonna start gently wrapping the corpse.
Her bosoms were different sizes.
oh boy.
What did he say her name was?
Meanwhile, Calliope's
it's
right now.
Phil
Oh, this is good stuff. This is cool.
I'm going to kind of like as we are as Tozu walks away from the remains and I kind of kneel next to Barrick, I'm going to kind of murmur to him, "This is really important and we should do it, but we don't have a lot of time."
I won't take long, but this needs to be done right if we're going to do it at all. It's out of respect for Pilney.
There are,
Hildy.
she kind of like nods, and you can tell she's thinking. She's thinking through her words.
Tozo is an odd fellow, but he has helped us greatly.
I don't disagree, and I think this has to be done.
You guys remember that time you brought Tozu along? I remember that.
Well, let me begin, and then we could be on our way. I'm gonna
Oh,
cast.
We're going to find a
ceremony.
lot. We're going to find a lot of dead people that we know in the city. I feel. We already know that many of your fellows died. We can't stop for all of them, Barrick. We can't
I
come
know
back.
that, Valor, and I know that. Just let me do this, please.
She had a rough patch on the side of her head.
She She just puts her hands up and
It's where a horse kicked her.
nods away.
I'm gonna cast ceremony and do my little blessing of Pelor over the corpse. Mutter some prayers and then step back.
It is lovely.
Oh man. I need to somehow save that. How do I save that?
Windows key C? No, what's the shortcut? Take a screen grab. Windows key S?
I got this. I gotta put this under my Tozu folder.
Imagine we can sing this to this hit hot new song, Mandy. When I fall asleep, I still
man.
feel thee.
So the second verse is actually like pretty sweet. It talks about how Pilney used to like make the crops grow, and now she like looks down on Tozu from above, and when he feels the sun on his face, it's the rough hands of Pilney.
You didn't type that out.
That's because that's not what sells. This sells.
That is amazing. Are we burying her? Is that what's happening?
I don't
We're just
know.
wrapping her in the cloak
Oh, okay.
and performing a funeral rite.
Yep.
And then I'm going to allow Calliope to sing her song or her poem.
Oh, Kali's been singing this whole time.
Okay.
She's on like the fifth verse. It just keeps going.
And then when it's done, I'm going to stand back up and then I'm going to nod solemnly to Valoran.
She looks like she looks stoic, but there's like a little bit of like there's a little guilt there, but she seems kind of firm, and she just nods at you. We'll come back and we'll give her a proper burial when we're done. After we win.
After we win.
So
I could
are we
do
going now? Are we long resting? What are we doing? Are we
I could
sleeping?
do it right now.
No.
I could just move the earth.
We don't have time.
It won't be. It's instant.
Well, I mean, we have to. We're taking a short rest, right? We're gonna
I'm
recover some
doing
hit
it.
points.
And he walks outside, and he kind of reaches
Yeah,
down
we
and
can short rest.
slams his hands into the dirt, and there's just like this, and there's just a mound that appears on the side, and now there's a hole in the ground.
Oh. That works.
All
I
right.
had to use my
I
last
think we should
spell.
pause for an hour.
Yeah.
Wait, he just cast.
He cast Move Earth. It's fine. It's cool.
Cool.
It's cool.
So yeah, we can short rest. So I sent a message to Headmaster Zazuth. He says that they lost their fight in the night and had to retreat into the sewers.
Oh, we're going to the sewers anyway.
Yeah. I'm just not sure what them losing means and how many they lost. I don't think we have time for a full rest. Because who knows how many more able hands there are left to fight this fight.
Do you know where in the sewers they are? Like what part of the city they're underneath?
I don't know. I assume they started from the academy and are working their way toward the outside. I don't know the sewers very well. I kept away from those.
Abe, does Calliope know enough about the city to know like what part of the sewers to head towards?
You do remember there are different entrances. Like you know of some that actually dump out into farmlands. And they seem to be like rather larger because they kind of push the waste. It sadly makes the crops pretty fertile.
Right.
There's also some throughout the city, more of like storm drains that you feel like you could probably squeeze in and out of. But if you're looking for something from your memory on the outskirts, that's probably one of those.
Oh, if the sewers were used by the chain, there's probably signs all through them giving directions. And I could read those if we find those.
All right. Well, let's rest for an hour, and then I'll take us to a sewer entrance. Anyone spinning
Sounds good.
hit dice during the Song of Rest gets an extra D8 hit points.
Extra
Or I'll
big
play
old
my
D.
Song of Rest. Enable, you actually, is there like a short rest you can do? Because that'll give me back my Bardic Inspirations.
Yes, there is. Rest. Short rest.
Boom. Thank you. Yeah.
Tozu can also heal some people.
Well, if we're short resting, we can spend our hit dice, though.
Yeah, save your spell slots, yo.
Yeah, because we're not getting our spell slots back.
Tozu by this point has buried the remains of Pilny and then move Earth back over top of it, and then did a little druid craft. It's a nice little flowery reef.
I rolled a 1.
What's your constitution, though?
That was my extra D8. I rolled a 1 on my extra D8.
I can roll any number of hit dice, right?
Up to your level, I think.
Up to your level.
Looks like it actually keeps track of them.
Yeah, it
Just
does.
drag it through. Yeah.
You just double click it or drag it.
Oh my god.
Grant, buddy, what's the matter, pal?
I think that's all that I need to. Yeah, I healed Korak.
And Calliope will also redo her inspiring leader, whatever it is.
Inspiring leader.
What the hell is it called?
It's definitely that.
I think, Abe, you can actually short rest us on the combat tracker, which should make all of our abilities that come back on short rest come back.
He did.
I did.
Oh,
it
I'm
should
sorry.
have worked. Let me make
Probably
sure.
did.
Where is
Shout
my- What is that thing I have?
I mean, in theory,
Not
yeah,
bad.
party takes a short rest.
Yeah.
Want to make sure. You probably just don't have it. That's probably why.
I
No.
probably don't have anything.
Where? I thought it was a feat I took. Where did it go?
What?
My feat. My
Oh, man.
inspiring leader. There it is. Okay, so once you finish a short rest, you can gain the hit points again. So everybody get 16 temporary hit points.
Oh, boom. Add that to Korak. Tozu. Is it enough to give Newly 16?
Yeah.
Because that's
So I
a
can
little-
always do it twice.
So our temporary resets to 16?
I think it might stack. I don't. Do your temporary hit points go away when you rest?
I don't know, man.
You guys probably need them. It's fine.
A creature can't gain temporary hit points from this feat again until it has finished a short or long rest.
Oh, then there you
I
go.
don't know if it stacks or not.
Temporary hit points.
Nah, it's probably cool.
I would say probably
Does
not.
everybody get their extra D8 of hit dice?
Yeah.
Oops. It's fine. Korak doesn't need it. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
He probably has more hit dice left, but
Oh, and
Whatever.
everyone's maximum hit points should have gone up by 11 during the Heroes Feast we took.
yep, which is still on for the next 22 hours.
Sweet.
Temporary.
So that's why a lot of people's temporary was at 27 because we thought it was 27 at first.
Yeah, then I
Oh.
forgot it's
Should,
your
should actually only be
permanent.
16 for your thing, plus your maximum goes up by 11.
Oh. So I also have to manually change my maximum back later, though, right?
Yeah,
Right.
you just have to make a note of it.
So up by 11?
11.
Yeah.
Good. Thank Twilina sometime.
Yeah.
Thanks, Twilina.
Thanks, Twiley.
You spent 1,000 gold worth of food.
She did. It's gonna be worth it. I mean, we did save for people.
I mean, you did. Yeah,
Like all 4 of them.
There's more
Okay,
left,
so we
maybe.
are still disguised as vampires. I just want us all to remember that as
You
we go like
are.
tromping up to civilians.
If we do run into either someone I recognize from the Mage Academy or the thieves, I can signal them.
With the hand jive.
Or we just
Yeah,
pretend to
yeah.
suck their blood and freak them out.
We'll see. First, you gotta mash potatoes, and then you do the twist.
What are you talking about? We're doing the monster mash tonight.
The monster.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I'm David Pumpkins. I'm bang.
Oh god, David Pumpkins.
At one of our managers came in dressed up as David Pumpkins today. It was kind of amazing. All right, are we doing this?
If I know it's about 9:30 in the morning by this point, after your long rest.
It is 9:30. We must be getting a move on.
Agreed.
I actually want to. I'm gonna look at the sun, like right at the sun.
That was why you went blind in the first place.
Yeah, make a
Susan,
perception.
no.
Make a
Susan.
skill check.
Yep.
Perception or
Yep, perception. Yeah,
Did I pass?
there is no sun, just dark, ominous clouds that seem to be swirling around. However, as your vision kind of looks over the burned building, you do see the clouds seem to part just ever so slightly, and you can see the high walls. They're pretty high up. It's the main castle town of Vesubia, but you do see something that you've never seen before. Make Arcana check.
Ooh.
Oh snap!
Arcana.
As the clouds kind of shift slightly, all you see is this like pillar-like building, near where the actual palace of Farland the Fair is, and then the clouds pass away too quickly to really figure out what it was.
Noted.
Propilny!
I'm gonna point to it and be like, "Hey, what was that?"
They're called clouds. Even I know that.
All right. I feel like we need to have like a place that we can go in case shit hits the fan and we get separated for some reason. But so far, I asked what's his name about. I asked Zazuth about
Zazuth.
safe places to go, but he didn't say anything specifically.
He did not.
He said he went to the sewers. He didn't say about any other. He didn't answer my question about other safe places to go.
Should we go to the sewers then, do you think?
I think we should go to the sewers. I just mean if things go south and we have to, for some reason, get separated, maybe a preset place we can try to meet back up.
You can use your history check to try to remember places.
Sure. I remember, off the top of my head, I remember there's the academy, there's the monkery, there's...
Just the temple, the arena.
Yep. The arena might not be a bad one. Because, like, there's a good chance there's going to be agents of Miravas. Oh, I should have advantage on that.
What about Tomcats?
That's the different city.
Aw.
We've actually never been in Sisa.
Actually,
That's right. Cisa's where I'm
Calliope,
from.
you would know that there is a tabaxi that runs a place in Sisa. It's called the Eager Kitten, and it's near the bazaar. It's a
I
kind
also
of a
know,
higher end.
I would also
Yeah.
know like where Murin lives, the arena champ. Probably in a house. Right?
Yeah, you know he had a small kind of place outskirts of the slums.
Sorry, I'm muted. I don't have a muted, do I?
No, you don't.
Definitely not. No.
That was Tozu. He's still not handling this well.
Valen pats him on the shoulder twice.
Abe can Clyde and people. Never mind. People have already made rolls. They're figuring it out.
Yeah. Oh, I like Murin's house actually.
You know, it was located somewhere near the slums. He didn't visit it too often, but as a fighter, that was roughly all he could afford. Even as champion, he didn't typically flaunt his money.
So, like, geographically, which of those many places that you just named would be closest to kind of where we're coming in?
The slums are actually to the far south. You guys are coming in the far north. So you guys are right up here.
Okay.
You know that his place is somewhere in the slums.
So are any of the other places we named maybe closer to where we're going in?
The Eager Kitten is near here. To the west of the bazaar. The Wizards College is down here.
I think all those pins are on the wrong layer, Abe.
Oh, balls. Well, you're welcome.
How about like the temple and
the Temple of Pelor is here.
how about
we know that's overrun though. Because I tried to. I asked
Yeah.
Zazuth, and I think he said they're all dead.
right? Is I assume my temple's in that same quarter then?
Yeah, this seemed to be like a temple-y area. Yes, yours is this building.
What's in the middle here?
Yeah, that.
This right here?
Yeah.
That's the old amphitheater. That's where Calliope would know. She spent a lot of her time there. It's also near the ye old Bassoon pub, which is the place that Tozu was just talking about.
How about the arena then?
Arena's down here. It's this green pin that
Everything's so far out of the way.
you can't click on.
I mean, the amphitheater might not be bad.
Yeah, that might not be too bad. It's either that or that place with the kitten.
The Eager Kitten.
Yeah, the eager kitten.
I think as long as we just decide on somewhere, like just in case we have to split up and
Split the party.
Then we have like at least a goal where we know we can regroup, right?
Abe,
Yeah.
which of those places would be like the never been in? Like, is one of them like visible way off?
You're cutting in and out a lot.
Yeah, that was tough. Sorry.
I don't know what's happening with my mic. Which of those places is going to be the easiest to find for someone who's never been to CISA? Like the one that's visible from furthest away, or like most identifiable?
Both the amphitheater and the Eager Kitten are relatively easy to find. The amphitheater is basically dead center town. It's to the north of an old cemetery, and there's a giant stage. The Eager Kitten is surrounded by water, and it's a pretty massive inn. It's probably one of the biggest if not the biggest in CISA.
Well, the amphitheater is really open, which seems like not a great place to like hide and meet. So why don't we say the Eager Kitten, but if it looks super sketchy and dangerous, then meet at the amphitheater instead. They're not super far apart, right?
Yeah, sounds good.
They're not too far apart. I mean, this is a pretty big city, being the capital, but relatively speaking, it's not too far apart.
Yeah, so Eager Kitten, unless it's full of vampires, and then go to the amphitheater.
Can vampires swim?
You do remember Valorant talking about vampires do not like water.
That's true. That's their weakness. If we deal radiant damage to them, they won't heal. And if they die while they are within running water, then they cannot turn into their mist form. Which I think they
invested in a moat.
Well, let me tell you, I have a fist for that. and Swift-Eye's going to start rubbing her knuckles at her Masa Moon.
I
Nice.
do remember suggesting we all lived in a water park. I'm just saying. All right.
To the sewers.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
All right. So you guys kind of collect up your things after your short rest. Tozu kind of jumps up, dusts his hands off, gives a last farewell look. Well, fuck this place. Let's get going. South is the edge of the city. If you guys if you follow this road, it leads right up to the city gates to the north.
Well, we don't want to go into the gates, right? We want to go into the sewers. Right.
So where are you
Sewer
looking?
access. Probably it's in the
Sewer
river.
access.
I would assume.
You said Calliope knew of some entrances, right, to the sewers?
Yeah, you know of some that kind of dump out into farmlands. You can use, let's say, what's a tracking skill?
Survival.
Do survival with advantage, since you have a somewhat good idea. Oh, did you guys disconnect? Did I lose internet?
Internet.
No, you're here.
I hear you.
It said Andy and
I
Calliope.
only see.
I'm good.
It says I'm there, but I rolled and nothing happened.
Oh, shit.
I don't see you guys on there.
I'm
Oh,
losing the internet.
Yeah, like I can see
no.
everything, but I rolled the dice and nothing happened.
I can hear you.
I still hear you, Abe. Maybe it's just because you live close. I'm not sure.
It's definitely
Alright.
that.
I can roll.
Abe's right outside your door.
You
We're
might
just
be.
connected to a long line of strings, and at the end of all those strings are some beer cans, and that's how we play D&D every week.
It's D&D.
Okay, well,
Ye old D&D.
Abe, what's happening to your internet?
I don't know.
is everyone else still connected, or just Andy and I?
Two of you are connected. I got
Hey.
Valorant and Swift Eye and Fred.
This is how horror movies start.
That's right.
Is this just a prank? Are you just trying to get us sucked in?
It totally is. Oh, now it says connected. If you want, I'll
Nope.
roll you.
I just got an
Joining-
error message.
Joining back the game.
Runtime error. Restart Fantasy Grounds.
Run DMC error.
PC load letter.
Yeah, I'm getting the
Hell's
same
this?
thing.
Fuck
My
does that
Fantasy
mean?
Grounds is freaking out.
It is. It's not letting me join back in. I'll get out of here.
I hear it. Then we're gonna do this.